Hey, welcome back to 2DG.
Two.
We got another beer review.
He caught me off guard there.
I did it on purpose.
We have from Taxman, out of Indiana.
Southern Indiana.
Southern Indiana. They're out of Bargersville. Whatever. Never heard of it. Blackberry Deduction. Now, this is part of their Brewmaster series, so it's not an everyday release. Basically, it's a Belgian-style Blackberry Dubbel, or Dubbel, however the hell you want to pronounce it. If you want to be pompous or not. Basically, Taxman is a Belgian-style brewery. So, they use, Belgian traditional styles, Belgian yeast for everything, whether it be traditional styles or IPAs or anything like that, or even stouts. We did the Taxman Death and Taxes a while back, though. Go check that video out. I think that's the only one we've done from them, at least that we've reviewed.
I was say I've been getting pleased with them.
Yeah,
so I'm impressed lately.
They're solid. To be honest, when I first started in beer, I wasn't a huge fan of Belgian styles, but they've grown on me.
Oh, that's good.
But let's go ahead and crack this beast open. Oh God!
A lot of carbonation on the sound of that.
And okay, it's not rising, so I'm guessing.
It's getting ready to.
No, it's not. It doesn't say on here, but I would be surprised if this wasn't bottle conditioned, because that's a
I would almost think
load of carbonation. Anyway,
let's do a pour.
Let's do it. Oh God,
Isn't that crazy?
It's gonna be ridiculous.
Wow.
Well, this could take a minute. Let's see if yours is any better. We'll go slow. That's what she said. Nope, not any better. Now, admittedly, I have had this one out at room temp for a while, but this has been in the fridge for
an hour, at least.
Yeah, a good amount of time. I'm just gonna say screw it and pour some more in mine.
Yeah, go ahead, because the smells are wafting. Can't contain.
So, it comes in a nice, dark brown to ruby red.
Yeah, slightly burgundy color there.
Say a couple things. Number one, in the amount that I can see, there's a ton of floaties down there, but the carbonation level on this is disgusting. Just popping up from the bottom of the glass immensely. Now, I will say there was about a 5 fingers worth of head. 3.5 if you got big fingers.
It's because it's all the glass would hold. It was very, very, very carbonated.
Now we're about to taste this. I'm probably going to get a ton of foam.
That's not always bad.
On my lip. So go ahead and leave a comment if you notice it.
Stiction's actually decent.
Yeah. Let's get a schmeal.
Okay. It's very much in the Belgian style, but it's almost got a soapy.
Yeah. You get that kind of yeast characteristic. The blackberry's there. It's just not tremendously prevalent. There's that soapy thing he was talking about, but I have a feeling that's more due to the high carbonation level than anything. God, there's a lot of floaties in there. When was this?
You got a lot of floaties? I didn't notice it so much.
Doesn't say, does it? Anywho, nothing crazy.
No.
Let's go ahead and get a taste of it.
Yep. Wow. That to me is in that Dogfish Head vein where the flavors are just in your face strong, but good. This has got a huge amount of residual sweetness, personally. Definitely you can taste the Belgian characteristics, but it's almost got a bitterness to it, though. It's like really in your face. Well, there's almost a caramelized sugar flavor too.
You get, first and foremost, salted up front with that carbonation level. Past that, though, it's a nice dark fruit malt sweetness, so kind of like cherries and plums and that kind of thing. Now, the blackberry plays off of that pretty well, so to be honest, to me, if you would have told me there's blackberries in this,
I'd be
Or if you
surprised.
would have told me there wasn't blackberries in this, I guess I wouldn't have been surprised either.
I don't find this blackberry stands out as much.
Correct. That being said, though, I've made a beer that was just stupid carbonated, and this reminds me of aspects of that. It's almost too harsh. It almost lends a metallic kind of taste to it.
Metallic or slightly mentholated.
Yeah. The alcohol is at 9%, and it also, it's there. It carries pretty heavily.
Go ahead.
It doesn't finish as dry as I thought it would, but at the same time, that alcohol is really the last thing that you're tasting in it.
I was going to say at the same time, there's almost a metallic-y, tinny flavor. But it's not a detracting. It just kind of adds that little bit to the complexity of it. It's not a detractant. So I'm not. Oh God.
It'll be fun.
You can see the carbonation is just over the top, and I think he's right. It's definitely got to be bottle condition. It's really just going nuts.
It's way too carbonated though.
But it is a very in-your-face, strong in flavors. It's not. It's just bold, very bold. I guess is the proper.
It's what a double is. I mean, it's all right. So if you don't know, they call it doubles because it's basically kind of like being an imperial version.
Yeah, and then there's people who claim to have triples, which isn't
there's
always recognized as an official.
No, it is.
Not always.
Triples basically are higher in alcohol, generally around that 9-10% range, but also lighter color. They traditionally tend to be golden or blonde in color, so you could technically call them like a Belgian golden strong ale or something like that. But if you use a specific yeast, that's what qualifies it as the triple. So lighter in color, basically, and higher in alcohol. Generally sweeter in the flavor with that more Belgian-y yeast to it. Excuse me, this one's sweeter in flavor. The other one is stronger in the yeast characteristic. But, okay, so we'll get into it. Dubbel. Its style is an abbey double, which abbeys were traditionally brewed in like monasteries and stuff,
Or abbeys.
that kind of thing. Yeah, abbey monasteries, same thing.
Yeah. Well,
Base
not really, because
Yeah.
the monastery I think has nuns and stuff. But whatever. I don't know.
monks.
Yeah, but both can exist in one, and I think only one exists in the other. But whatever.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about. So this one, no score. Too few reviews. I think they said only had 4, but if you look at it, the average is about an 80 to 85. Anyway, so for double, which we haven't really done any of, I don't think we've done any yet.
Yeah, I'm
to
not
be
sure
honest.
that we have either.
What are you gonna give it?
I'm gonna go 8.5. It's solid. It's again a little overcarbonated, but the flavors are bold. They're in your face. They're good. It's not like it's a harsh, nasty flavor. I really dig it. I like the style of Belgian anyway, but I think it delivers. I think it's what it says it is.
Give it a 7.5. It's all right. Carbonation level kills it. The blackberry isn't really prevalent at all. I probably could have just said it wasn't in there. That's fine.
No, I think it's there a little bit.
Well,
Some of that sweetness. Sorry,
I think
go
you
ahead.
get more of that from the actual malt and things like
You can
that.
tell by flavor.
Well, so this says it gives hints of dark fruit, offers a brilliant platform to highlight the rich flavor of real blackberries. Disagree. It relates to the flavor, but it's not. The fresh blackberries aren't, I don't know, unique enough to stand out.
That's the truth there.
Yeah.
That's the key. The blackberry doesn't have that flavor that just jumps out at you
No,
and goes, I'm a blackberry, like a raspberry does.
I disagree. I think it just doesn't.
I just
here.
never found even a raw, fresh blackberry just really stand out.
The alcohol is a little too prevalent, and then just the harshness of that metallic taste from the overcarbonation, which if you don't know what we're talking about, like if you ever have brewed a beer like I have and you've overcarbonated it, which I did, or if you've ever had somebody else make a beer that's overcarbonated, it just, I don't know, it lends that weird kind of burn your mouth / metal characteristic to it. I don't really know how else to describe it, but it's just, I don't know, it's off-putting. Overall,
I'm actually going to go, an 8.5 on the style? I'm going to go down to We'll go down to an 8. While I like it a lot, it's just not something I can drink a lot of all the time. It's a bit sweet, and I'm not gonna, I don't want to go and say. I think I prefer more traditional Belgian style. The residual sweetness in this doesn't really lend a lot to refresh you. It just kind of gums up your palate and your mouth. I think a traditional cleanses the palate a little better. So, yeah, I'll drop it down a little bit. It's good, but it's probably not something I'll have all the time.
I'll drop it to a 7. Here's my thing. We were at a local restaurant in the Northeast Indiana region, and they had the bourbon barrel aged deduction. So the regular version of this without the fruit, and then in bourbon barrels, and it was great. Now, granted, the keg blew, so I didn't get a full glass of it, but what I did have was great. It wasn't overcarbonated, which you wouldn't really expect that from a keg, but and that's why I lower this one. So I know what this beer can be, and I know what it is here, and it's not good. My guess is this might be a faulty kind of batch, maybe, with the carbonation level. And if they do bottle condition it, it may vary bottle to bottle, but not
that's the thing.
Generally, because it's all controlled. I'll chalk this up to a weird bottle. I won't judge them too harshly on this. Like I said, I've had the original and with the bourbon barrel aged, and it was delicious. So I'm not getting too much of the blackberry in there, which, again, I'm going to always lower the score if you tell me it's in there and I don't taste a lot of it. That's fine. Even though you kind of agreed with me earlier, but...
No, I'm just saying it's not a flavor that jumps out.
I disagree.
It's definitely there.
If I gave you blindfolded pie, and it was a blackberry pie...
Versus what? I mean...
Cherry, which I get a lot of cherry in this too, and I bet I could pick it out.
No, I get mentholated.
If I give you a menthol pie, regardless.
Newports.
Just sprinkle them in. It could be better. I'll give it another shot before I really call it what it is, but yeah, 7 for overall.
Okay, well, there you go. I'd like to give a little props, though, to Taxman and Upland also. They both 2 Indiana breweries who've kind of upped their game recently and are starting to get a lot more acclaim. I was really impressed with Upland recently. They've been doing getting some acclaim from some bigger breweries in the regions.
Taxman's always been kind of a cult following.
You think so?
Yeah, I do, and that's what I'd always gotten from it. Now, I, for the longest time, didn't know it was only Belgian styles because we couldn't get it around here.
Yeah.
But they are out in force now. They're even in grocery stores, which scares me a little bit. But they are, to my knowledge at least, completely self-distributing.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's impressive that they're getting up here, then.
Yeah, which the significant other...
If you need a driver, I'll do it.
If you're going to pay me in beer, that'd be okay. But the significant other, she's over there. She works at an establishment that had recently gotten this beer. Now, the story I got from that was that the manager... or said place went to another establishment and they had like a barrel-aged IPA or whatever. I don't know what it's called, but they had recently told Taxman no, they didn't really want to do anything with them. And then the manager had that beer and immediately called them and was like, we want this. And they gave some outrageous price for it. And she's like, I don't care. And it was for a half keg. So
really?
It wasn't even yeah. So, yeah, they're a lot more involved now. And we were at another local establishment and the guy was in there, and it was the same point in time that I'd ordered the beer that blew the keg, and he's like, well, thanks for trying, here's a sticker. So I got a sticker out of it, that's fine, and the beer was good for what I had, so I respect it.
Yeah, but I want you to know I got hell because lunch blew, and that was somehow my fault. I was out east.
No.
I got what was left.
It was your fault because you didn't appreciate it for what it was. Whatever, different story. I think we talked about it in a previous video. Go check it out. Anyway, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. The old 2DG.
Ring the bell.
Ring the bell. Let us know if you've had Taxman, what you think of it. If you've had this one, if you've had a better version of this one, I don't know. Other than that, see you next time. 2DG.
Take it easy.